Alright, so welcome to Just Talk channel everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. I'm AR Izamil Mazlan and I'm the moderator for today's webinar. Okay, for today we are having a discussion with the topic urban quality of life in Kampung Baru. We have invited three panels for this talk. Alright, we have the Minister of Urban Affairs, Tan Sri Ahmad Shahmi, representing the local government. Okay, we have Prof. Dr. Izul Afif as an expert on urban planning from the professional field. Okay, lastly, we have AR Ali Farhan as a representative of Kampung Baru, speaking for the people. Okay, so with this COVID-19 season, okay, we are having our webinar at Google Meet. So I hope your internet is sufficient for the session. Okay, so now without further ado, we will start the discussion. Okay. The phrase urban quality of life means that the design of cities has been shown to affect quality of life. So, okay, Kampung Baru is a Malay enclave village, okay, located in the heart of Kuala Lumpur, one of the most valuable tracts of land in the capital. It has been estimated to be worth up to USD 1.4 billion. So, the current issue is how do you define urban quality of life from the aspect of government, professional field and the masses? Okay, we'll start with Tan Sri Shahmi.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Moderator, for the introduction. Under the government aspect, urban quality of life is a concept that has the challenge to solve the problems in urban areas, to control urban sprawl, and to prevent environmental slump. With the Ministry of Urban Affairs leading the initiative to improve the quality of life in Kampung Baru, we have the objective to restore existing urban areas and control the development of new communities.
Alright, thank you Tan Sri. Prof. Izul?
Okay, thank you, moderator. So for me, as a professional in the field, urban quality of life is a subjective matter that is to be determined from the society and environment of the study area. You cannot just implement the ideas and the initiative that has nothing to do with the study area. The study must be done and to assess the situation, and if the situation requires it, we as a professional will guide and implement the policy in the study area.
Okay, thank you. Okay, alright, so based on the definitions, okay, Tan Sri, what are the initiatives taken by the government about the quality of life in Kampung Baru? Are there any policies or implementations that has been done or are currently in progress?
Okay, thank you, Zamil. Of course, in behalf of government, we have planned for new developments in Kampung Baru by having policies to help in improving the residents' life and their economic status. Our government bodies, through the Ministry of Housing and the local government of Malaysia, have already prepared some initiatives for the people, including Kampung Baru, through our national community policies. This policy aims to address social issues faced by the community of housing premise and emphasize on the aspects of value, way of life, as well as social trade practice by the urban community. Okay, when talking about the quality of life, on behalf of government, we have identified some issues before taking any deliberation, such as people which are irresponsible with public utilities, hygiene issues around the neighborhood, lack of community support system, lack of unity among community members, vandalism, and social problems among youth. So, with this policy, we have divided our objective for Kampung Baru into 8 clusters. I will explain more on each part of the cluster. First, infrastructure and maintenance. The committee must involve in building and maintain the common properties and strengthen their skills. Second, cleanliness, environment, and health. Local community plays an important role in looking after the environment. Awareness, knowledge, and skills on cleanliness and communicable disease need to be done by government for the sake of people. Third, safety. Social issues such as theft, drug trafficking, addiction, vandalism, nuisance, and various crimes can lead to insecurity among the community members. The social bonds within the community members itself need to be strengthened to trigger the occurrence of social phenomena. Fourth, educational and skills. We will increase and improve the knowledge and skills among community members by building more kindergarten so that no kids will left behind and receive a proper education. Fifth, take a good care for the children, elderly, OKU, women and single mothers.
Thank you, Tan Sri. Okay, Dato' Izzul, based on the answer by our Tan Sri, okay, are those the correct methods or implementation that has been done? What are the standards that has been set by the industry and professional fields? Do you have any comments or objections?
Of all, there are so many approach and method in developing an urban township. The intention and the main goals that will reflect on the what kind of approach do you will be implemented. So, in the relation with the quality of life in the Kampung Baru, and to preserve its sense of place, in my opinion, the best method will be a equity and a humanist approach. To summarize, in any redevelopment initiative, sustainability of the neighborhood is more likely to be achieved through involvement of the community in the transformation of the process. Inequality is often associated with the lower income and minority group that have not been included in the public consultation stage. This may create a sense of distrust and complicated the initiative of agreement between two parties. So, with the equity approach, this helps the community exercise its power and unify the group in the face of proposed development. So that's all for me.
Alright, thank you. Okay, we had our views from our governments and our experts. Alright, okay, but let me ask you, AR Alif, okay, what is really happening in Kampung Baru? Are the facilities adequate in providing the quality of life? Are there any implementations or policies that has been implemented by the government? What are your thoughts about this?
Okay. For the first question given, what is really happening in Kampung Baru? As we all know, Kampung Baru always been highlighted with the controversial redevelopment issues. It has to be the most complex and problematic project due to the legal status. But what I want to emphasize is the context of the Kampung Baru itself. The Kampung Baru layout plan contains individual dwelling units as well as compact and relatively small lot size. Many landowners of single dwelling units have converted them to multiple dwelling units or even undertaken conversion that incorporate shops, workshop and light industries. They also extend their house for renting purpose. This ad hoc individual development has resulted in squatter areas and even more crowded use in the neighborhood. There is also a shortage of available land for public open spaces. Thus, the areas have a poor quality of life and environment. And when you ask me about the facilities, Kampung Baru has a high volume of car traffic. It is not safe for walking on the road pavements. The urban layout of Kampung Baru redevelopment is a non-pedestrian friendly environment. Transit provided is not supported with good pedestrian facilities and linkage. Public transport provision has poor transit hub within established key area and it's a well-integrated transportation. So, are the current facilities adequate in providing the quality of life? It's a no for me.
Okay, thank you from AR Alif. Alright, so with all the talks and views from each field, okay, what do you think is the best method to improve the quality of life in Kampung Baru? Right, the floor is for you guys to debate.
Okay, I think the government has the biggest authority in the determining the method. The real question is how comprehensive is the government planning on redevelopment for Kampung Baru? Does the government really take into account the social economy and the sense of place of Kampung Baru? Maybe we all know that government initiative on making community members involved in the redevelopment by creating some program, for example, Turun Padang and open day and exhibition day by the PKB. But does the proposed redevelopment would actually benefit the group on the improve the socio-economic status of the Malay who reside in the Kampung Baru? If we build a beautiful tower like PSCC, but the place will lose the sense of place, what is the meaning? The redevelopment of the enclave is likely to make Kampung Baru much more like the other news center in the Malaysia. Absent of an effective countermeasure, the uniqueness of the Kampung Baru will be lost, and the project will be blind by money making and real estate development. As referred to Ruth Van Hoven in his journal Study of Happiness, published in 2000, one of the distinguished for quality of life is livability of environment. So thus the redevelopment with the new high-rise and the more urbanization, which also lead to the loss of the sense of place, will improve the quality of life of the existing.
No, Professor. Maybe you do not understand the current issues here. We in government have better approach and precise data to support our policy. This policy didn't complete in one night. We put in many consideration for the people. We can make the policy, but at the end, it depends on the people to put on their own feature. We can give some help and allocation of budget, but it depends on them. These people of Kampung Baru really need a new development so that they can be competitive and be adaptive to their surroundings. We can make this country to stop from developing and modernize. They should accept that the fact we as government cannot keep on giving budget to them for their incompetence within their surroundings. Sooner or later, this area will not be reliable with our urban strategies. You tell me, until which year we need to keep Kampung Baru? A new development needs to be done. The potential are so big, but these people can keep up with the urbanization. 60%.
Is it fair to them?
No, you listen. With 1,000 for each square feet for their land, how you can justify that?
Okay, where the neighborhood, which is KLCC, have the land price of 3,000 per square feet. That is 300% less than what they should get. And those numbers regarding the approval, based on their knowledge, that the number were based on the intenders meeting. Therefore, might not represent the opinion of the actual landowner and the beneficiaries. Thus, some would say that the proposal did not win the approval of the majority of the landowner.
For me, Kampung Baru hosts a unique case for a struggle to be developed. It's required effective governance to achieve the aspect of sustainable city centre regeneration. Unlike the KLCC development, this regeneration needs to deal with the existing community and the restriction of the Malay Special Land Order. Even if the government divide 100 cluster of objective on their policy, but issues between the local community and the government development plans are not resolved, this will be the same. Never ending project. So please be critical and allow the community to contribute on their own city for better understanding of the development. We don't want the project to be blinded by money making real estate. Okay, that's all from me.
Okay, I think the discussion has got heated up. Okay, we have to discuss the policies and issues around the urban quality of life. Okay, so please implore the panels to please restrain yourself. Okay, basically, in conclusion of what Tan Sri Syahmi and Prof. Izul said, okay, the government and the people of Kampung Baru must unite in this venture together to achieve harmony and prosperity. We, as people of Malaysia, we do not want imbalance towards the growth of quality of life in Kampung Baru. Okay, the people of Kampung Baru must realize that in order to move forward into the future, they need to work together with the government. Alright, with the help of the professionals and the experts to chart out the holistic course of action in bringing up the quality of life there. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, I agree with the moderator. So many hope that original people of the Kampung Baru will unite and bring about change in the area. This hope was probably unrealistic, but certainly understandable. The continuity of the place has been profound relationship with the local culture, way of life, and the physiology health of residences. Good mental health can help improve the people enjoyment, reduce a physical and mental health problem, and also able to achieve the personal goals and participate in the society.
Alright, okay. So do the panels have any more to add?
Myself as Finance Minister, I will do my best to ensure that this development in Kampung Baru will be done with everyone's view and opinion on board. We are Malaysians and we can do this.
Alright, okay. Thank you to all the panels invited. So with that, I would like to end our session here. Thank you everyone. We appreciate you being here. Thanks again for joining us today, and we will see you next time at Just Start channel. Thank you. Alright, thank you Dato' Alif.
NANI?
Ya, aku biar. Tahu nanti aku ambil aku punya part yang okey. Okey, aku suka. Okey Amin.
Okay. Okay.
Dia ada sikit lah.
Okay.
Salman aku.